All right, we are streaming again. See if it's going to catch up. What's going on?
It's loading and we're live.
We're live. Excellent. Okay, there we go. Well, hi everyone. We finally got
Hi.
this thing up. Welcome
Yay!
to we started 5 minutes early. We had all kinds of things planned. Everything went well. I pressed the button and nothing happened. But here we are. Can everyone hear me out there in Media Land? Okay. Let me see here. We're waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting.
I gotta say, it's really disorienting. There's like that 15-second lag between us and the actual video, and I'm on the page watching the video.
Yeah, I've got it
And
over here on my left, and it's very much the same for me. It's like, oh
Mm,
boy.
uh,
it's really, really weird.
So basically, if
seeing.
you embarrass yourself, you get to watch it hit in real time. It's like, you're just waiting for that anvil to drop down on top of you. It's like,
Exactly.
oh no!
There's like that mental delay between what did I just say
And
and
getting to see
what
your
did I
lips
just
saying.
say?
That feeling is normal for me.
When it first started, I hadn't muted the stream, so I was also hearing you say things about 15 seconds after I heard you say them live, and that's really disorienting.
Well, with
And I have hearing troubles, so I read lips. Uh, so I can't help watching the live stream, and I'm reading your lips as you're talking on the live stream, and it's not the things that you're saying now.
That's just how we roll here at Studio Prey. But anyway, since we're here, since we're all started now, and I think, yeah, we have 5 people watching us, everyone be afraid. Welcome to the March Studio Prey live stream. I am your host, Rebecca Mickley. I am joined by my reptilian edit team, Kat the Dragon, and Maya the Bone Collector Miller. Say hello, everyone.
Hi.
Well, this is going well. And
Uh,
so how are you guys doing this month? It's not like we talk every
uh,
day. What's been going on?
um, doing pretty good. Tired. I'm always tired. A little bit of a headache. Uh, the weather is getting much nicer here. Like there's actually sun out today, and I think it's high 40s right now. But a couple of days this week, it's actually been nice enough to go for a walk and not be totally miserable. So, uh, spring is wonderful. And of course, you're always mad as a March hare, but now it's especially appropriate.
Yes, yes, indeed. And thank you for that weather report. We go now live to Maya, who looks like she's waiting to be hit by a truck. Hi, Maya. How are things with you?
It's been good. College is as college is. Just got back yesterday from playing the Detroit Symphony Orchestra for the first time since elementary school. So that was fun.
That sounds fun.
What was that?
And my neighbor, she likes to practice her opera at about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night quite often. She's not exactly the most quiet people.
That sounded like someone
Mm.
more strangling a cat than opera.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
Because that's what everybody signed on for. They showed up for updates on the studio, but what they really wanted was critiques on someone else's singing randomly echoing off of the chat.
I mean, that's how it works when you're a music student and you're on a floor in the dorm full of music students.
Yes, indeed.
This makes a sense.
Hmm.
It's not good sense, but it makes some kind of sense.
Well, all right. So moving right along with studio news, I have an update for you guys on Rise of the Forgotten. The final chapter of Rise of the Forgotten will be released on May 1st because we timed it that way on purpose. No, we didn't,
That
but it's nice when these things work out. 2 weeks later, on May the 15th, while I am in an airplane on my way to Wisconsin, long story, uh, it will be coming down off of the website and will be going live on Amazon in June for purchase as a standalone novel for your Kindle. We are also working on the possibility of being able to offer it in actual print, actual physical copy.
Oh,
wow.
nice.
Yeah, surprise! More.
Yeah.
This is the first time hearing of this.
Yes, yes,
hmm
indeed. We're working on it, which means Wags and I have spoken of it in the last 2 months. I am hoping to have more information about this if it's possible in the April live stream. So already reasons to tune in then. Uh, it's Amazon does offer some options for physical copies for small print publishers like ourselves. We're going to see if we can avail ourselves of those because they have got us in a stranglehold, a loving stranglehold of exclusivity, which is why we have to take everything down off of the website before we can publish on Amazon to stay within their terms and conditions.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
So fun. So publishing business, all things like that. Cat, Nightmare Gods, is it done yet?
I'm gonna go with no.
Why?
Uh, well, since you asked, so the book that I am currently doing my primary editing pass on, Ghost of the Nightmare Gods, is the first book that Snowy wrote to completion subsequent to the publication of Exile's Return, which means it's also the roughest condition of anything I've ever edited.
Hashtag train wreck.
I wouldn't go so far as to say train wreck, but maybe small sedan wreck. Flipped over the guardrail and landed upside down in a river.
Family of four in a Volvo heading for a wall at 80 miles an hour.
No, just one person, and you'll find out who.
Well, that's not ominous. Tune in April for my funeral arrangements, apparently.
Oh, that got dark.
Have you read my
Well.
work? Really? Have you read my work?
Yes, I have 95% of it.
And how's the therapy coming?
You don't want to know.
Expensive and mostly ineffective.
Wow, we're just like we are ranging all over the place in the stream. And there is a good chance my mother is watching, so she's just sitting there shaking her head like, I gave birth to this child.
I'm pretty sure my mother asks herself that probably about twice a day, honestly.
I think we're veering a little darker because we know your mom is watching.
That's terrifying. Please hold all questions about lead paint in my home growing up until the end of the chat.
As I was saying, Ghost of the Nightmare Gods is coming. I'm working on it. It's a little slower than my work on previous books has been, but we'll get there. I am plodding along and hoping to have it finished soon-ish. I'm not going to put a date on it right now. You'll probably put a date on it before too much longer and force me to get it done in a timely fashion.
We're supposed to be releasing in June. No pressure.
I think I can manage June. June is doable.
You have until the middle of May. No pressure.
Sometime in June.
And the next thing we see is Kat vanishing from the camera. A few moments later, door slams, scene cuts.
Followed by furious typing.
Yeah. It's either that or the sound of a vehicle peeling out of the parking lot, traveling at a high rate of speed.
See, now that would leave it to me.
Drive, so.
See, if Kat disappeared, it would leave all of her responsibility to me, a full-time college student.
Oh boy.
I'd be a bit out of luck.
It's coming. I'll get there. It's coming faster. I feel like the first couple of chapters are rougher than the rest. It's getting easier as I go.
Mm-hmm.
You were 4 years out of practice when you first started, so
Yeah, I was.
It's completely reasonable for it to be as rough as it is.
I love that. It's okay that you suck. Yeah.
The characters are amazing. The plot is fantastic. The grammar, just, I'm glad you have me.
I sometimes feel that way too.
I love you, and I love that you let me pick on you. You know I do it out of love.
Oh yeah, It's that whole Greek thing, you know.
But yeah, the first few pages of Nightmare Gods are half red ink at the moment.
Only half. That's very generous.
Only half. Only half. In fact, parts of it are only about a quarter.
And now that we've spoken about how awful I am, let's talk about giving me money.
As of recently, there's actually about half a page that I didn't have to do anything to.
Excellent. So, you know.
Hey, improvement.
Yes, indeed.
It's not bad.
But it's funny that this stream is so dark, because Nightmare Gods is like a shadow in a dark room. It is a horror urban fantasy, every bit horror. I love the eyes I'm getting from Maya, like two windows open. It's just like, you know, they just keep getting bigger and bigger. Eventually, they will cause a singularity and suck everything into them. But it's going to be a ride. It's an urban fantasy. The other thing I've been working on this month, besides watching Kat mangle my manuscript maliciously, yay, alliteration, is The Reforged, which is a new high fantasy universe that I'm currently developing. The main character, for once, is not a hare, because, you know, variety is the spice of life. She's a raccoon, so... Or she will be.
A creamsicle raccoon, nonetheless.
Spoilers. Spoilers, Maya.
Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. And it ultimately, I'm pretty excited about it. I've been wrestling with it like it's a rabid Wolverine for about a month, but things are starting to get easier, starting to flow. So
I will say that you know, part of why it's always so slow, the kind of thing I'm doing with Nightmare Gods right now, is because I'm also reading The Reforged as you go, and editing on that, doing my first pass on that at the same time. I work a lot, but it is so much better than Nightmare Gods. It's just so much better. You have improved tremendously in the last couple of years, and the editing is going to go faster when we get there. Right now, it takes a while.
Well, we really changed our process as we, you know, started the studio. When we first got together, I was a writer in need of an editor. You were an editor and, you know, in need of a writer. It was a match made in hell, and we kind of, went on. And we've finally developed this process where I lay down content relatively quickly. I can do up to 5,000 words, write up to 5,000 words in a day. Now, that's not me bragging, it's just, the upper limits of my productivity. With
Hmm.
Kat coming behind me, editing in real time, when we finally get to the time when we're getting ready for it to release to Speedy, we can do a really quick pass, especially with Maya coming behind Kat now.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And we've really streamlined the process, but that process did not exist
Hmm.
until about, was it Farthest Star or Sins of the Solar Republic?
Uh, I think it was Sins of the Solar Republic was when we actually started really doing it that way.
hmm And I can actually tell the difference because things really start to tighten down in those rough
Hmm.
drafts, starting with
Um,
that process.
I will correct one thing about that statement. When we started, you were a writer in need of an editor, and I was a literature nerd who thought that I could edit.
Fair enough. And then I drafted you.
My prior experience was editing my high school newspaper for a semester and having aspirations that maybe I would go to college and pursue becoming an editor full time, which never actually happened.
But now you've got 3 works under your belt. You've got Dawnbreak, Exile's Return, and Rise of the Forgotten, which is releasing now. It is releasing now on the website for our
Hmm.
patrons. If you want to be a patron, as I said, we can segue into giving me money now that we've talked about how awful I am. Uh, for $2 a month, you can help support our efforts at the studio, help me keep Kat fed, help me keep Maya fed, all of those things. Maya's a poor college student. She needs all the help she can get.
Yes,
Uh,
please. I only have three boxes of ramen left. I'm beginning to run low.
Please, won't you think of our bone collector?
Need to supplement with the occasional deer.
But seriously, every patron that we have makes such a huge difference. It is a great way to ensure that we get out releases in a timely fashion. It helps us invest in the studio. It helps us bring more goodies to you guys in the end. We are all doing this as kind of a labor of love right now. And,
Hmm.
for just $2 a month, you can help support that for less than the cost of a cup of coffee every day. Yeah.
And you get the distinction of having read right now Rise of the Forgotten before everybody else gets to.
Exactly.
Hmm.
That's one thing. We have the final draft club where you guys actually get to be a part of the story. You guys actually get to be a part of the work. The Final Draft Club, we put it out there for our patrons starting at our $2 a month tier. And if you make a comment, we review that comment. We try to either work it into the manuscript or we see where we missed something in editing. You guys are a very vital and necessary final filter, final edit pass before we go to Amazon and we release to the public. And so not only are you helping to support us, you're helping the work to be even better, and you're getting access before anybody else. You get to know what's going on with Snow, with Jill, with the UEA, all of those organizations before anyone else, like 2 to 3 months prior. So there's a lot of value there.
Hmm.
There is a link uh, in the bottom below me.
Hmm.
That's why I'm pointing down. And
We can't actually see your hand, I don't think.
down. There we go. Like on the YouTube page, I am pointing down to the info
Gotcha.
box on the YouTube page. And it's like
Now we can see
now
it.
we're doing all kinds of, glyphs or whatever. That looks a little bit too much like something. Anyway, hashtag demonetized. Moving right along.
It's actually kind of below me.
What? Really?
Mhm.
I'm looking at the page and it's kind of left justified, so it's below me, not you.
Oh, below me. Okay, I thought I heard something else.
No.
Moving right along.
Moving on. So let's see. The next thing on our docket is our social media pages. We need to talk about those real quick.
We actually have a social media page now. The thing is as you can tell from how well I do these streams, I am a tad bit introverted. By a tad bit, I mean a lot. A lot. I do social media about as well as I do differential calculus, which is to say, not well at all. As such, I have Kat, who runs the Tumblr page most of the time. So all of the entertaining content that you are seeing on our
I'm so sorry.
It's studiopray.tumblr.com, right? Or is it tumblr.com/studiopray?
You got it right the first time.
Studiopray.tumblr.com is our Tumblr presence. We have studiopray.com, which is, there is ostensibly a blog there. Currently, we're not doing as much except for announcements with it, but that space will hopefully be expanding soon as we continue to get off the ground. And then we have 2 Facebook pages. The one that is the most active is my celebrity page. And I have to say that with the scare quotes because referring to me as a celebrity is like referring to a raven as an airplane. So if you would like to follow me, we are 5 people away today from 100 likes and followers on Facebook, which I feel like that's a milestone. It's like 100 people want to know what's going on with my stuff. Wow, that is an appreciable percentage of the town that I'm from. And yeah, so that's just search for Rebecca Mickley, look for the Trinity Studio Pray symbol, and give me a like and a follow. I post all kinds of stuff there. I try to keep it positive and upbeat. I keep all politics and all of those things off of it, which, as we know, social media is often, a very controversial place. So if you're looking for positive, encouraging, like memes, images, funnies, the latest and greatest announcements for the studio, things like that, check out our Facebook, check out our Tumblr.
We also technically have a Twitter page that I'm not doing anything with, don't we?
We do have a Twitter page, and I actually have an app that I bought on my phone called Talon so that I can just randomly tweet. The problem is I do not feel like my normal day-to-day life is interesting enough to merit a lot of tweet activity. Like, I am awake, I am writing words, I am awake, I am eating food. I am not that kind of microblogger. I want there to be some feeling of relevance.
Yeah, I don't use Twitter a lot for similar reasons. I can't think of much to post that fits in that 140 characters or whatever it is format. I don't really understand Twitter's format.
And it's actually increased. It's now like 240 or something like that. You can actually get a whole paragraph in there. But I just, if people want to see me more active on Twitter, please let me know what you would like to hear from me. Like, you don't have to tell me what to tweet, like, like some weird ventriloquist act, but what would interest you? I want to know. If I'm going to, focus on that medium, if I'm going to devote my time, I want to make sure that it is appealing to the people that are coming to the site, that are reading the work. I want to make sure that we are as responsive as possible to the people that make us a success every day by reading the work that we do. So please let me know what you would like to see. Let me know what kind of content you would like to see more of. Besides, the releases, we're getting those out as quickly as we can. But Studio Prey is not about us. It's about you guys, the fans. It's about, having a dialogue and a discussion about issues that I feel are very important, that we all feel are very important, about identity and self and the value of a person. And so, we want to make sure that that message is getting out and getting heard.
That also applies to the Tumblr page. If there's anything that you want to hear us talk about, and the ask box on Tumblr is open. So if you have questions, send them there, and we'll get them answered, etc., etc.
I also have a personal Tumblr that is about, if it was a town in the desert, you'd see the tumbleweed blowing across it. But I do have the ask open on that as well. You can also always send me a message on Facebook. You can send me an email. We are available to talk with you guys if you're interested.
And most of the people watching this have probably already seen my personal Tumblr, but that's also there. That exists.
And of course, Maya curates 2 blogs on Tumblr. One is the beautifully named Bunch of Crap. And
Bunch O Crap.
Bunch O Crap, excuse me.
Important distinction.
And
important.
Let me tell you, that was a stroke of genius naming it that. And the other one is, do you want to give out the other one, or should I now backpedal furiously?
It's my other one is Duo of Souls. So that one's, I'm not very active on that. It's kind of just like, it's there if I choose to use it. My main one is mostly just reblogs and just anything I find funny.
That's kind of what a lot of social media has kind of devolved into. Hi, that's funny. Sure. Oh, that's interesting. Sure.
Mostly that. A lot of it is vanity page kind of stuff, which is also true of mine. Everything that I find interesting. And I like this. Other people should like it too, so I'm going to share it. And of course, I also, occasionally, theoretically, actually write articles on various subjects, mostly witchcraft and pagan related. But that's neither here nor there, and has absolutely nothing to do with Studio Prey, other than free advertising.
Free advertising, and hopefully, if the Goetics will just return our calls, we might actually finally get some help.
That'd be nice.
I haven't turned to demons on behalf of the studio just yet. Although I'm not averse to the possibility, I'll take it under advisement.
Hey, eventually, if we get big enough, we're going to need an agent. We might as well go with the best.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time for me. It also wouldn't be the first time that somebody has achieved major celebrity in the field of media by making deals with demons. So we'll see how it goes.
Are you prepared to align with dark powers? Please, I've been working with Amazon for years.
I mean, I am one of the dark powers, so.
Exactly. It's been working out for me so far.
Yeah. Par for the course.
Yes, indeed.
Fair point. Fair point. Let's see. So the only other thing we actually have planned for today is opening up the chat to questions and or meet the team. I feel like everybody has met the team, but is there anything else that y'all want to talk about?
Yeah. Hello, chat. Talk to us. Give us things to
Yeah.
talk about.
Hi.
Watch me, watch me shuffle. Watch me dance. 10 points if you know what that line is from. Any guesses, Kat?
No, I'm gonna leave it for somebody else.
How about you, Maya?
No idea.
Really?
Hmm.
Really? It was a line spoken by a
Maybe.
certain character in a recently released book. Oh, I just thought of something. I did.
Mm.
It was amazing. No.
You're gonna share?
Yes. Exile's Return will be coming out with a new cover in the
Oh.
next month or so.
Yeah.
Sarah Cody, the amazing artist that designed the covers for Dawnbreak and Rise of the Forgotten, is doing a new cover for Exile's Return, so it'll be in a similar and congruent style. And I've seen it. I've seen the sketches. It's going to be amazing. And I will be unveiling that hopefully for the world to see in the April live stream. So be sure
I'm
that you
looking
stay
forward to
tuned
seeing
for that.
the finished product.
And to answer Saber of the Sixth, it was Joyce who said that in Dawnbreak. Watch me wiggle, watch me dance, not shuffle. That was a bit of a trick question, a little bit of a curveball. But
Oh.
yeah, that was one of the things that she said it well, at least once, maybe twice.
I think it was in there twice.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Of course you do.
Now you remember.
Hey, I've only managed to read it once. I meant to go back and read it, but it's a little rough, don't you think?
I mean, that's fair. The story is kind of intense.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget
So,
one day I wake up. I wake up and there is this message from Maya, and it fills up my screen. Snowy, why?
Didn't I proceed to call you a monster after that as well?
Yes.
I remember that. I wasn't actually part of that conversation, but I got to hear about it afterwards, and I remember when that happened.
You remember me rubbing my paws together gleefully as I'm relating the story to you over morning breakfast.
Uh-huh.
Yes, indeed. So, with Rise coming out, and now we've had Exiles and we've had Dawnbreak, we've gotten to see the evolution within the Farthest Star universe and the growth of an oppressed people. The Morphics in the universe are looked down upon by society. They've had challenges from the beginning, but they have continued to strive in spite of it all.
Mm-hmm.
And as we go forward in the work, we'll actually see more about how the Morphics have adapted in society more directly, especially with Sins of the Solar Republic. But we also see in Rise things starting to change for their ability to be included in society. And it's a lot of people. Well, how do I'm trying to talk about this without getting too much into spoiler territory.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the major themes of the work is not just about the hope of people that are minorities within society and often suffer a stigma, but the response of those societies to people with the stigma and the consequences of that. So, yeah. And with Rise, we're actually seeing that, like I said, come to a bit of a fever pitch. Things really start to build up. So if you haven't gotten caught up yet, if you haven't subscribed, it's definitely time. I would encourage you because things are really starting to heat up in the story. We have releases every Wednesday and every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And what else do we talk about now? We supposed we got like 15 minutes, but I'm up for ending a little early unless we have some more questions from the
Well, let's
audience.
give it a minute and see if the audience has anything else to ask us.
Yeah, guys, talk to us. There's all of 5 people watching. I think I'm one of them.
Actually, I might also be one of them. I'm pretty sure.
I think I'm one too.
Oh my goodness, we have 2 people watching. 2 people.
Is one of them Wags?
Probably.
Okay, so
Saber the Sixth, talk to us.
you are apparently our audience. Ask us a question.
I feel special.
I'm sure she feels special and put on the spot right now too.
No pressure. No pressure. We're all staring at you.
So yeah, kind of a small audience today. We've had more. I think last month there were 7 or 8 people. When is the April stream? That's an excellent question.
Let's see if I can come up with an excellent answer. Maya, when's the April stream?
Yeah, I guess I'm really the determining factor on that because
you are the one with a complicated schedule. Yes.
What about April the 20th? That's a Saturday.
April the 20th. Excuse me while I check my handy dandy calendar. That's a Saturday. I don't have anything going on. Unless something pops up then, or, that Friday or that Monday, around that time works for me.
Okie doke.
Sounds good. So April the 20th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Same bat time, same bat channel. Once again, hashtag demonetized. Here we go. So
technically, we have 2 people.
We have 2
watching. She points out that she and her mate are both here, watching together. So we have an audience of 2 today. I'm sure there will be tons and tons of more people who will watch this later.
Normally, we get up to like around 50 views per each of these, and that's really just blows my mind.
It's hard to schedule to get in for a live stream. It's a lot easier to watch it later on your own time. So that makes a lot of sense, and eventually we're gonna hit it big and be on a bestseller list, and then there will be the ultra fans who will come back and watch these from a couple of years ago, and then they'll have 10,000 views.
Well, the thing is that I know that we live in an era where, like popular videos and things like that get like millions, 100 million views, things like that. But the idea that even 50 people want to stop by, that always that's very humbling to me. Just speaking personally, everybody, especially in this early stage, as we're starting to build up and as we're starting to work towards more and more of a audience, I mean, you guys are always going to be, part of the memories because you were our first fans. You're the ones that believed in us when the whole world didn't even know our names. So every one of our Patreon supporters, that would be Jedisanthia, Ben Shimon, Brad Gabriel. Those are our three Alarians, which are our biggest supporters. Uh, you all have my eternal gratitude and my thanks. I guess gratitude and thanks are the same thing.
That goes true for all of us.
Hmm.
I really appreciate all the support that we've been getting, and it's just really cool to think that I helped create something that made enough of a difference to people that they were willing to subscribe, or even if you're not Patreon supporters, just people who are willing to take 45 minutes out of their day to watch this video is kind of a big deal for me.
Well,
Oh,
I don't feel
thank
bad,
you.
Saber the Sixth, at all. I'm really grateful to have your attention, but I'm humbled by the fact that people believe in us and are showing up to support us, even now when, I'm still learning how to do this streaming thing. I'm still, working on developing this platform and this voice. Our Patreon supporters every month are sitting there. They're helping us out. They're helping making sure that I have something to give Kat and Maya, as little as it is at the moment, for their tireless work and effort.
And we have an excellent question. What's the origin story for Studio Prey? I think what's the origin for the name Studio Prey is what we're being asked.
The origin for Studio Prey started in 2012, technically. I met an artist at a convention. Her name is Thabby, is the name that she goes by, and she had always wanted to do a webcomic. I was in the process of developing Exile's Return at the time, and I thought it would be fun to write a webcomic. And on those ideas, we met throughout the weekend. We spent a lot of time talking it out, working it out, and we resolved that we were going to try to start a weekly or bi-weekly webcomic. But we needed a name. We wanted something that would not just be a showcase for the webcomic itself, which was called Tomorrow's Forgotten, uh, but also our written works, our creative works, etc. And so we decided that we would found a studio and we would feature the webcomic as part of the studio. After banding about names back and forth, Thabby's animal is a gazelle. Mine, of course, is a raccoon. No, it's a hare. And so we were both prey animals, at heart. So Studio Prey. And our original tagline was not stories that change you, but home of the herbivores for hire.
That's also a good tagline.
Yes.
That is a good tagline. I like that.
Herbivores for hire. And our first April Fools, every April Fools for the 2 years that we were in active production, we did a special a special comic that we'd release. Our first one was Cash for Carnivores. In a parody of the Herbivores for Hire name. Sadly, I guess I had an excellent team with Studio Prey 1.0. I had Thabby, and we also had an artist named Yuki, and we were in early development of a comic called Ghosts of Eucharia, which I do not own the full rights for, so unfortunately I won't ever be able to develop that going forward into the future. But we were really building something. Tomorrow's Forgotten, like I said, ran for almost 2 years solid. We got through multiple chapters of the work, And even today, even though it's one of my earliest works, and like I said in an earlier stream, it can be very dramatic, melodramatic, you know, I still feel like it stands on its own, and I'm very proud of it. So, you know, there's very fond memories of those early years. After that, everything kind of went dormant. We went our
Hmm.
own separate ways as life, you know, often, as it often does, throws us challenges that we didn't expect. And sadly, I am no longer as in touch with Yuki, but I do still hear from Tabby. She's doing well. And
Oh, that's good.
I still have 6 months of Tomorrow's Forgotten scripts that maybe one day will get dusted off and revised and released again. It was an interesting enough storyline, I think. Kat's seen a lot of it. I think Maya's
Uh,
seen some of it.
I
Yeah,
have
I think you sent some to me a couple weeks ago.
I
It was interesting, definitely.
I read the entire comic that was released on its original website before that was taken down. Before we were actually working together, I read the whole comic and it was really excellent. And I would like to see it continued at some point.
Hmm. And like I said, you know, we've got, you know, months of content if we had an artist. Because one of the last things that Krista did as part of the studio was she gave me the full rights to Tomorrow's Forgotten. And so if we
Mhm.
ever find an artist, we could actually potentially put that out again.
Mhm.
And who knows what the future will hold for us.
I would like to see that happen. And obviously, Maya and I would be happy to edit a comic as well as novels.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Oh,
like that you
definitely.
guys aren't already busy.
Well, uh, if you're writing it, then you're not writing the novels, and it takes about the same amount of time. And actually, there's less real work involved in that. There's less of the line editing, the grammatical editing, because it's just the dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So we have
Mm-hmm.
to do the content editing for story and so on and so forth, and then just make sure the periods are in the right places and it's good to go.
It was always very interesting when Krista and I, when we would meet for, you know, our collaborative meetings, which I mean we were doing everything remotely like we do here,
Hmm.
and I would read to her the dialogue and she would be sketching while I was reading, and then I was actually watching her build the scenes that she was seeing in her own mind just from the dialogue coming off. And I would occasionally throw out suggestions like scene cut, fade in, fade out. You know, very much almost like us like a TV script or a movie script.
Hmm.
And I would put in little author's notes about, you know, what the way that I saw it, but she would counter that with her own, and then this very unique offering would emerge out of it. And that's one of the things I miss the most, is actually seeing something I had written visually come to life and watch it
Hmm.
morph and change. So that was very exciting.
I I feel like script editing would go a little quicker than novel, because I don't feel like the actual written script, has to be quite as pretty. A little bit more of a perfectionist when it's a novel and they're actually going to be able to read it.
Mm-hmm.
It was an interesting nuance. We try really hard. You know, I would edit it. Yeah, I know. And then Krista would edit it, and then I would go over it again before it was released, and then she would go over it before it was released. So we'd have like this four layer check, and
Hmm.
we'd still miss things. So.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. You kind of become unaware of certain things if you see them often enough, and it's kind of just like, oh, that was there. How did I not catch that? Oh, I've seen this 6 different times.
Well,
Oh
one
That
of
well.
the
that's that's why you need a third-party editor. It takes at least a couple of people to figure things out.
Which is one of the
Mhm.
reasons why I'm very grateful that we have Speedy.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, because you guys are amazing. You guys are the best team in the business, the best team money could buy. My Dragon team is the best team, and I honestly, that's just the way that it is. My work has gotten so much better because I have had your input. I mean, I was a writer before, but I am a much better writer now because I have you two. And seriously, anybody that wants to praise me for the quality of my works, you guys also need to make sure that you guys are praising Kat and Maya because they are absolutely incredible at what they do.
Flatterer.
Truth teller, but sometimes they're congruent.
And Wags has pointed out in our chat here that Studio Prey, but we're not herbivores anymore.
The CEO
that is very true.
Yeah. The CEO. Am I the CEO? It's like
I'm not sure. You're something. You're in charge. You're the boss.
You're a fearless leader.
Oh. The boss is a fluffy bunny. But the editing team, not herbivores.
Far from it.
And neither is our IT guy.
Yeah.
Hi, Wags.
Yes, indeed. Say hello to our IT department. Well, if there are no more questions from the audience, and I'll wait the 15 or 30 seconds it takes to catch up, we are getting very close to the hour, and we have probably drugged this out long enough.
Wags says, "Awoo."
But seriously, thank you everyone for being here, for being a part of the magic. If you can, I'm going to flog that dead horse one last time. Please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/StudioPrey. For less than the cost of a cup of coffee, you too could help support quality content. And
we'll
thank
see
you.
y'all next month.
See you next month. Onward towards the farthest star.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.